Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Final Flock, where we react to the live team news, and we're a couple minutes out from finding who is out. We know who is in, and as we had forecasted, we'll see here in the predicted 23. We're hearing, as of right now, that we have Billy Frampton in, Howe in, Tom Mitchell in. They did not mention Allen back in, so not too sure what that means. We'll get there in a couple minutes, which also means one of these players survives. So Hill is out with the gastro, right? Hill is out with the gastro. So those are three. That's probably the three changes. McStay out, Howe's in. No, I don't think so. So this is what we're looking like heading into the game against Hawthorn, most likely. Like I said, in literally a couple minutes, we will do the announcements for the outs, but we're waiting on the AFL website. We'll quickly check the Twitter front. A bit of angst in the chat right now because we had Xander Maguire on Channel 7 say there was some outs. So here we go. Here it is. In, Jeremy Howe, Billy Frampton, Tom Mitchell. Out, Charlie Dean omitted, Oleg Markov omitted, and Bobby Hill with the Hillness, unfortunately. So I think this is the first time, guys, collectively we've gotten the ins and outs right. However, I thought maybe... Wait, so who stands? So Ned Long's still in a team, guys. Does that mean Ned Long's still in a team? Which there was a world where we were going to see this. I think if that's the case, guys, we're going to see this. That's what we're seeing, yeah? You got your three outs in Hill, Markov, Dean. Markov and Dean both omitted. Hill ill. And then Ned Long as a sub seems to be what we're gonna get. So for the first time in a long time, we're gonna have a bit of stability in our back line. Frampton back, Jeremy Howe back, and hopefully it gets Darcy Moore rekindled back into the form that we saw for 6 weeks after that King's birthday clash. We need this guy. We need him. We need Houston. I'm thinking Houston, if we don't sit on our hands, maybe we'll rotate a Houston and a Jack Crisp at halfback. I wouldn't mind seeing Josh Dacos attend or spend at least 20% of his time in the midfield rotating with Nick, have a bit of dare. But good to see the franchise back. We manifested it all week. Franchise in. His fly scared me a little bit in that press conference, but I was mindful that he was just being respectful to Charlie Dean. Maybe Fly wanted to get out to Charlie Dean after selection committee meeting and say, "Hey Charlie, like we're gonna drop ya." So it seems like Fly was just being respectful in the end. We'll head over to the live teams on the AFL website now to see what's going on here. See if that's just pretty much all but confirmed. Billy Frampton, Tom Mitchell, Jeremy Howe, Charlie Dean, Bobby. What have they got here? Harry Morrison, and Will Day. Big out in Will Day. It's going to work in our favour. Whether you guys want to argue that is the case or not, he's their best player. He's the highest rated player. This guy is literally their best player by, I'd say, almost a country mile. The class, he can do so many things. He's so versatile. CJ or Luke Bruce. Okay, I see you, Luke. Let's have a look at the subs. So we have Jordan DeGoey, Tom Mitchell, Dan Houston, Membry Howe. Wow. Okay, so Ned Long will not be a sub. We're also going to see the experiment of Ned Long and Tom Mitchell. How do we feel about that with them both back in the side? Who's going to be the sub then? That, to me, could be Jordan DeGoey sub or Tom Mitchell. Could it be Dan Houston? I think you could make a case for all three players being the sub. There's no world where we see Jeremy Howe or Tim Membry a sub, in my opinion. Luke Bruce is a problem. What do you reckon, guys? Mitchell will be the sub. Hoskin Elliott can't be the sub because he's on the field. He's here. So those who are watching right now and aren't aware of that, if they are listed on the field, then they won't be the sub. However, if you're on the interchange, you narrow it down to these 5 players. And I think for Hawthorn, you'll probably get Luke Bruce. So what that means for Hawthorn is they're persisting with Mabior Chol, Mitch Lewis, Cal Shadia, and Gunston. Where's Gunston? Where are you, mate? There he is. And we meet our old foe, Jack Ginnivan. Okay. Houston sub? Nah, no way. No, some people saying no way. In some world, yes, but I think not. I think not. No way Houston is sub. Titch or DeGoey? So for me, personally, I'd want to see maybe Flyers apprehensive in having Tom Mitchell and Ned Long on the field at the same time. And I feel like if Tom Mitchell's a sub, his lever could be pulled early in the game if things aren't going our way. If Jordan DeGoey is a little bit sore, I suppose he could be a sub, but I just want to see Jordan DeGoey. Let's just go all in and risk it to get the biscuit, start him, and if he needs rest him forward, deep forward. I think this is a must-win game, guys. Like, it all comes down to this. If you've got Jordan DeGoey in the side against Hawthorn, where if we lose, we could lose top 4, should he be in the side? It has to be Jordan DeGoey start and dominate. And he started well. A nice stepping stone was the game against Brisbane. Let's take it to the next level. How great it would have been to see Jordan DeGoey in the second half of that third quarter and the last quarter against Brisbane. He could have been a difference. I understand the game wasn't going our way, but Jordan DeGoey is that person who can just break the game open on their own accord. Unfortunately, we've probably seen the end of Charlie Dean. I don't like to come out with statements like that, but that's a very real scenario where we just don't see this guy anymore. Oleg Markov, I don't know if he was horrible against Brisbane, but he wasn't good enough, and he played forward. He's a backman in my opinion. Don't know why. Don't know why he played forward in the end. I would have liked to have seen Bob Hill start. Anyways, why am I reflecting on the past? We're 24 hours out from the game against Hawthorn. Massive clash. This is it, guys. This is it. We do not want to lose this game and go into Adelaide needing to win it to stay within the top 4. Like, look at this. I'll leave it at this, guys. If we go to the ladder predictor, which has been really convenient and handy for us at this time of the year because there's a couple of variables that go against us. If we lose against Hawthorn and Adelaide and beat Melbourne, this is where we finish 5th. So that's why 2 out of our next 3 is an imperative. So say we beat, we'll leave Adelaide as is. We beat Hawthorn. That's what we get. If we lose to Hawthorn and beat Adelaide, does that change the structure of it all? Geez. Imagine that. You lose against Hawthorn, then you beat Adelaide in Adelaide, and then all you've done there is forced a replay at Adelaide Oval. Imagine that. And then the last hypothetical is Collingwood. We could finish first and face Gold Coast at the G. That is probably the matchup we want. If we could illustrate the best case scenario and the opposition we'd like to face, it's probably that one. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the final flock. Those are the team reactions. Let us know let us know what you think in the comment section. And as always, go Pies.